Welcome to Study Loop.
For this question, we're given a table that shows the data related to four divisions for almost recent years. And we're told to the question basically wants us to discuss reasons why Richfield Oil should allocate corporate costs to each divisions, um, calculate the operating income and just like that. So we're going to start with the question, but we have the table, so we're going to be following the table in on each of the way. So the first question wants us to discuss two reasons why Richfield Oil should allocate corporate costs to each division. And the reasons I would say from the table, the main factors for the allocation of corporate costs to each division would be that it would provide information that will help the organization to take economic decisions. Because if you proper allocate costs to each divisions, it will help the managers give signals that concerning decisions that will expand activities of the business and increase or decrease costs. So yeah, that should be taken into consideration. So it would provide information. And the second reason would be that allocating corporate costs to each division would encourage cost justification or reimbursement because if you look at the few lines of the arrow company, it can be regulated with data of costs, which is used for determining the fair prices. So when you allocate the cost, it will increase it will increase in prices being set by regulator. So that's also another reason why we should allocate corporate costs. Yeah. The next question wants us to calculate the operating income of each division when all corporate costs are allocated based on revenue of each division. So we're going to be drawing a table that shows the percentage of revenues for each division separately. So then we can calculate the percentage of the revenues. So for that, be the table that shows percentage of revenues. So we're going to have revenues over here. Um, Percentage of revenues over here, and I'm gonna draw the table. So copper mining will be over here. Chemical products over here. Oil and gas downstream over here. And oil and gas upstream over here. So the revenue percentage of revenue for oil and gas upstream is 25%. For this 50%, and for this 15% and 10%. We have $8,000 here, $16,000 here, 4,800 here, 3,200 here. Now we're going to calculate the percentage of revenues. So in order to calculate the percentage of revenues, we have to, oh, let me add all this together. This is going to give you 32,000. In order to calculate the percentage of revenues, we'll have to divide revenues from oil and gas upstream and total revenue multiplied by 100. So this is going to be like percentage of revenues because to revenues from oil and gas upstream divided by total revenue multiplied by 100 divided by 1. And this is going to be 8,000 divided by 32,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 1. And when you work that out, that's 25%. So this is the percentage of revenues. So therefore, the percentage of revenues of oil and gas upstream is 25%. So we're going to calculate the percentage of revenues the same way as calculated above. So we're going to draw a table now that shows the operating income of each division separately because that's what the question wants. So So the revenue for this is 8,000, 16,000, 4,800, and 3,200. Now when you reduce the cost, it's gonna be like this. Now you reduce the corporate costs. And this is how the table is going to look like. And then you can solve out the division income for oil and gas upstream is equal to 4,000. Now 193. And this is from the question, from the table, if you can see. And the division income for chemical products, $505.8. And the division income for copper mining is equal to 622.8. And that's that. Now to the next question. We're to calculate the operating income of each divisions when all corporate costs are allocated using the four cost pools. So for that one, it is required to compute the operating income where the costs of corporate are required to allocate using four cost pools. So then we're gonna create a table that shows the percentage of four cost pools, and that will look like this. Table showing and then that will be like this. intangible asset division revenue income and number of employees, I'm sorry. And then we have the oil and gas upstream here. We have oil and gas downstream here. We have chemical products. Coming copper mining there. So for this it's gonna be 56%, 25%, and I'm gonna work it out. 74.6%. And that's minus 4.6%. So now we can calculate the percentage allocated among the various divisions by taking expense allocation as base. So the percentage of intangible in the context oil and gas upstream would be divided by total identifiable assets multiplied by 100 divided by 1. And when you solve this out, the identifiable asset allocated in context is 14,000 divided by the total identifiable assets 25,000 multiplied by 100, and this gives you 56%, and that was how we came across the 56%. So that's that. Therefore, now the percentage of other divisions can also be calculated in the same way. So that's how you can find all the other divisions, the 20%, the 74.6%. I'm sorry, this is 25%. Yeah, that's how you calculate this. You calculate the rest in the same way. So now, however, the base is required to be changed in case the allocation of other categories like the division revenues and number of employees. So now Since the copper mining operating income is negative, as we can see right here, it won't be considered because we're not going to consider a negative percentage. So therefore, the operating income, by taking the base at an identifiable asset, would be what we're going to calculate below. So it's going to look like this. Income over year, and the income for oil and gas upstream will be 5,000. Income for downstream will be 1,000. The income for chemical products will be 1,000, and the income for copper mining will be minus 300, as you can see there. Then the corporate costs for this will be 1,807.68, 774.72, 387.36, and 258.24. And the division operating income will be 3,192.32. So now, therefore, the operating income for each division is now shown there. I'm sorry. So the next question would be, how do you think the division managers will receive the new proposal? What are the strengths and weaknesses of Rhodes' proposal relative to the existing single cost pool method? So we want to find the strengths and the weaknesses of the proposal and how the managers will receive the proposal. So the strengths of the proposal in comparison to the single cost pool method would be that the proposal can better capture cost and effect relationships, because let me write that down. So the proposal can capture cost and effect relationships, because interest and debt is caused by financing assets than by revenue. So cost of personnel and payroll are caused by number of employees than by revenues. So therefore, the proposal will be very simple and no information will be required to collect beyond the information which is available. So you can also say the proposal will be very simple. It's required. And the weaknesses, these are the strengths. Now the weaknesses would be that the proposal might promote dysfunctional decision making and to encourage division managers to leave assets rather than purchasing assets. So so that's it. And it also leads to a decrease in interest of debt costs. That's it.